Hi, Bruno Jr. here. Our podcast, Busting Addiction and Smiths, is sponsored by SafeHouseRehab.com. SafeHouse believes that traditional treatments fall short of the needs of clients who face the modern problems of addiction. Modern problems need modern solutions. Multiple addictions, multiple relapses, multiple triggers, and cheaper and more powerful street drugs set up unprecedented challenges facing treatment centers. What is needed is a more sophisticated approach, a better way forward. There are 3 reasons to choose our progressive modern treatment program. 1, a more sophisticated intake process. 2, technology proven to enhance recovery. And 3, the most robust aftercare program in our sector. To learn more, visit us at SafeHouseRehab.com.
What are the benefits of getting treatment?
Well, thank you for the question, Tony. I'm going to define treatment a certain way. I'm going to define treatment as intensive, prolonged, let's say it's residential treatment, although there are different forms. In my case, I'll just revert to my case because I know it better than I know other cases. When I finally bottomed out in 1993, after a relapse that lasted quite some time, about 6 months, I went into residential treatment. I only had enough money for 9 days, but then I went into intensive outpatient, which consisted of one-on-ones and group therapy. For 6 months, it was 3 days a week, and then 2 days a week, and then 1 day a week. So it lasted a year and a half. So we're going to talk about treatment as a period of intense one-on-one group exercises and so forth, usually in a residential facility. What happens when you walk in is that, first of all, you've chosen to be there, and you have recognized one way or another that you've hit your bottom and that you want help. So usually you're a mess. You have uncontrolled drinking, uncontrolled drug use. You likely lost your job. You may have become suicidal. And you're there to start to think straight. We talk about we don't have a drinking problem, we have a thinking problem. So your thinking has been all messed up as you've been thinking backwards. You think somehow that you are the center of the universe, that you can do this alone. When you discover that you can't, you finally reach out for help. And that's a big deal. That's the moment of surrender. Somebody once asked me, well, define surrender. Surrender is defined by a fellow that I saw at a comedy show. And he was a recovering person, and he just had the audience in stitches because he had a different take on different aspects of recovery. And he said, you know what, when a soldier is in an army and his army surrenders, what does he do? He drops his weapon and he awaits further instructions. And I think that's where a lot of people are, is they're ready to accept any kind of help. What happens in treatment is a number of different things. One is you're forced to confront the truth about yourself. And you learn how to confront the truth about yourself without condemning yourself. In treatment, you often are asked to do what is known as an autobiography, which covers your childhood, and it covers your entry into the use and abuse of drugs and alcohol, how you started, and then what happened to you. So the usual triad in our meetings is what it was like, what happened, and what we're like now. So let's say in your autobiography, you begin to shine the light on some of the things that you have done, some of the ways that you used to feel. Most people who go into treatment have extremely low self-esteem, extremely low self-respect. They are loaded with shame. They are loaded with regret. They have usually hurt not only themselves, sabotaged themselves, but hurt their family members. Many of them have become isolated. Many of them have many resentments, unjustified resentments usually. So their brains are clouded with incorrect thinking. I remember sitting there one time with my counselor, and I think it was a one-on-one when she was telling me about all the things that I really needed to do to start thinking straight and acting in a responsible fashion. And I said to her, Margaret, that's brainwashing. And she said, good, because it is brainwashing, because your brain is dirt. And it's loaded with all sorts of misconceptions. One of the main goals of treatment again, this is intensive because you're busy from morning till night. You have no time unless you choose to leave. It's something like this. Addicts and alcoholics who come into treatment are fundamentally infantile personalities who don't want to be held accountable for anything. And so what does that turn you into? That turns you into a liar, a cheat, a thief. At that point in a drinking or using career, you have basically violated every single value that you held dear. You sabotage your chances. What they say is, you'll drink yourself out of a job. So you come in twisted, and hopefully within a period of, say, 30 to 60 days, they will take you through cognitive behavioral therapy, which means straightening out your thinking, reinforcing the good, jettisoning, surrendering the faulty thinking, so that you can go forward and start making good decisions for yourself. Our podcast is sponsored by SafeHouseRehab.com, a modern approach to recovery. To learn more, visit us at SafeHouseRehab.com.